What's up, y'all? I want to talk about meadow restoration and St. John's wort, the pros and the cons. Stay with me. What I want to talk to y'all about is this all used to be pasture right here, right? And I'm trying to turn it back into a wildlife sanctuary or a wildlife meadow, which means I want to reseed it with all the native plants, sorry. But anyways, I digress. I want to fill it up with stuff that supports the native pollinators and feeds the local wildlife. But with that being said, I have unfortunately identified St. John's wort skeletons. This is not what it looks like when it's alive. This is what it looks like when it's winterized. And unfortunately, due to this, the only real way to get rid of St. John's wort, because of how aggressive it is, because it spreads through rhizomes and seeds, is unfortunately with herbicides. Don't boo me. Don't boo me yet. Look, I'm not a big fan of it. I promise I'm not. But I also acknowledge when hand pulling isn't enough. I also acknowledge that when something spreads through root systems and seeds at the same time, it's extremely difficult to try to get a grip on unless you spray something that is very selective, because it's a very woody plant and needs something that can handle woody plants. There are arguments to be made that you can keep St. John's wort and mullein and all that stuff because it has medicinal properties. And that may be true, but say it with me, nature is a collective, not a singular. So just because it benefits me doesn't mean it benefits thee, right? Now, St. John's wort is said to have mood enhancing abilities and it's good for all kinds of stuff. And admittedly, I will probably let it grow and flower and then I'll harvest it before it goes to seed, and then I'm going to get rid of it. Because that's the most ethical way to harvest something that is invasive. Now, like, arguments should be made for ethically harvesting native plants. If you go out there to harvest common sage or something like that because you want to make burn sticks or whatever, go for it. But don't take an entire plant. Like, take every other branch or something, every other stem or something, but don't take the whole plant. Take from a variety of plants so that you don't shock one or like just over harvest. But when it comes to something like mullein or St. John's wort, take the whole thing. That is the most ethical way to harvest something that doesn't belong in the environment. Now, again, it's bad for livestock. It's bad for wildlife. Nothing out here really eats it except for sheep and goats. And even then, those sheep and goats, they love it. They absolutely love it because it makes them feel really good. But it also makes them extremely photosensitive. So those same sheep and goats you see eating these will also be covered in blisters and sunburns and all kinds of stuff, right? And that's not good for anybody. It'll do the same thing to you. But anyways, I digress. It's not good for the wildlife. Nothing out here pollinates it. It's just kind of self-spreading in that regard. I'm not saying not to use it, but I am saying try to get it from a place that can contain it or control it, or get it from its point of origin, right? Because it doesn't belong out here. It's not good for the environment. It's not good for the ecosystem. Even if you claim it is good for us, nature is a collective, not a singular. Thanks for watching.